All right, welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. I'm pleased to be joined by Dawson Cram, who will be driving the number 41 Camping World Chevrolet for Dawson Cram Motorsports. Of course, he'll be one of the 9 trucks that will be in the race with the Camping World sponsorship. As of right now, you never know. Marcus could add more. Dawson, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to be on the show, and I'm excited for this weekend and the new sponsor on board.
So, how did this, I know Marcus Lemonis, who is the president and CEO of Camping World, said that, with the, he didn't like seeing unsponsored trucks on the racetrack and stuff. So how did you get in touch with him, and when did you get, how did that all come together that you were going to be one of the trucks that were sponsored by him?
So first off, I was on Twitter, and my crew chief, Brian Keselowski, tagged me in a post from Marcus saying, the $15,000 sponsorship offer for any team that wants to agree to it, and then the $25,000 if you finished in the top 10, $35,000 in the top 5, and $50,000 if you win. And so I jumped right on that. I tweeted back at Marcus, and I said I would love to be a part of this, and we kind of tweeted back and forth, and then I got his personal email. We emailed back and forth, and around, it was probably 12:30 in the morning, he said, come up with a scheme. And I called up my designer, Ryan Pastana, out of Texas, and we got on designing a truck at 12:30 in the morning. I had it to him by 1 in the morning, and he said it was good and he liked it. And then we went on from there and announced it.
So, I know you've been in, I know you were in the series a lot last year in the truck series. What have you learned driving these kinds of driving in the truck series last year?
Well, the thing is, they're not going to drive like anything else that you would be prepared for. So every single race, I learned something new. I learned a lot about live pit stops. I learned about every track, because every track I went to last year, I had not been to except for, I think, 2 of them. And then just all the different types of racing, the 1.5 mile racing, the drafting, the 2-mile racing, the super speedway racing, and even short tracks are different from anything I've ever driven. So I just learned, to adapt, and then how long the races are, and to overcome challenges that you may have in stage 1 that won't matter in 2 hours when you're at the end of stage 3.
So I know as an up and coming driver, you own your own team with your family team. What are some of the, the struggles of being one of these, underfunded teams just trying to make their way into the sport?
Well, there are struggles, so to say, just to, even get to the racetrack financially. But, I try not to look at them as struggles, just learning experiences, because I'm working for what I have, and I'm thankful for what I have already. So I don't really take them as, struggles as much as I take them as learning experiences to just try and get to the next race and better myself for anything that is on the horizon.
So are you running a full truck series schedule this year, bud?
We are trying to. So far, yes.
So do you have enough, in regards to, I know this is sponsorship's always been tough to get, especially, now because of COVID, but where are we at in terms of that? Do you have enough to at least get through the next few weeks, or do you have enough to get through the full season? Are you confident to say that you have enough sponsorship to run the entire season? And where's your kind of next bump in the road if you have one?
So I'm confident that we could pull off an entire season. We're just trying to find sponsorship to make that better. If we were to go at it, just bare bones, we wouldn't really be racing all the time. We'd be on used tires sometimes, but just being there is better than not going. So we're really just trying to better our program right now, and, hope to race every single race.
And this is one of the longest trips of the year for you guys. Anytime you guys, go on the West Coast, it's, for a lot of teams that are based in, around North Carolina, or in ThorSport's case in Sandusky, Ohio, it's tough to get across the country to get the haulers going and all that. What's that like, for you as you go out there and make these long trips out to Vegas and, of course, the end of the year at Phoenix?
Well, it makes it a little bit more stressful going all the way across the country, especially, on the pocket because it costs so much to get all the people out there and then to get the hauler across the country costs, thousands in fuel. And there's a lot of miles on the road that maybe something could happen to the hauler, knock on wood. But it's just stressful to go out there. But I'm from the West Coast, so I have friends out there. So it's nice to go back sometimes and hang out with them.
Yeah. And as you go to Las Vegas, I know you've been there a couple times. What's it going to be like, and what would you be satisfied with with this trip? Of course, I mean you're going to have some color, you're going to have some cool Camping World colors on there, and that's going to bring some recognition to a lot of partners and stuff. So what would be a good run for you when we go out to Vegas?
I would just be satisfied with finishing and learning all day and getting the exposure that we will and just learning from all of it. I never had a big sponsor on a truck like this, and to accept all the media that I'll get this weekend will be a big learning curve for me. So that's what I'm mainly excited for.
All right. Dawson Cram, we thank you for coming on and spending a couple minutes with us. I know you're going to be getting on a plane in just a few hours to head to Vegas. So good luck this weekend, and let's catch up again soon.
All right. Thank you, Casey.